Hey guys, my name is Cody. Um, this is the first video in what I hope to be a series where I play some Forbidden Lands in the solo mode. The solo rules are from the Book of Beasts, which was just released, at least to Kickstarter backers. Yeah, they seem pretty straightforward, so I'm going to give it a shot. I want to do a quick warning that I've never played a solo role-playing game before, and I'm actually not an expert in Forbidden Lands. I've read the rules lots, but I haven't ever run an actual session of it. So yeah, I'm going to be kind of learning as I go, and maybe you guys can learn along with me if that interests you. Um, this first video is just going to be a quick introduction to my character and my companion that I've already created. Okay, I'm going to be using the Foundry VTT, and this is the official Forbidden Lands module for Foundry, as well as I think I have the Raven's Purge module installed as well. I have a couple of other modules. Let's look at those real fast. Let's see. Yeah, core game, Raven's Purge, Dice So Nice. You obviously have to have that for any Foundry. I also have Simple Calendar installed and Year Zero Actions. And yeah, that's all I have running now. I can't remember if I set up Simple Calendar yet. I think you go here, Simple Calendar, Spring Rise. Yeah, okay, so it does look like I set this up already. It has the Foundry, the Forbidden Lands calendar built in, which is really nice. Okay, anyway, let's look at the solo rules here. So I've already created a character using these suggestions. I gave them an extra formative event when they're young, and I swapped my adaptability talent for being a human to lucky. I don't know if that's really legal, but who cares? So my character's name is Jessup. Oops, I forgot I have to click this. He is an Alderlander, fighter. He grew up as a laborer. His first job was just doing chores. He knows all about grains, crops. But the first chance he got, he ran off and joined a company of soldiers, became a scout. He was in a bloody battle. He was captured for a while, probably has a little bit of trauma related to that. But he escaped and then decided he was going to leave this whole life behind and go seek some adventure in the Raven Lands. Let's see, what does he have? So he's got 5 strength, 2 agility, not very agile, 3 wits, 3 empathy. He ended up with, I took Path of the Blade, Defender, and then I mentioned Lucky, Pain Resistant, and Sword Fighter. He's got a light crossbow, a long sword, and studded leather armor. Basically has D12 arrows and nothing else. So I guess the first adventure I'm going to need to spend. Did I even do money? Because it says he only has 1 silver. I think he's going to need to get some food and water before he sets out, obviously. So the next thing to do is to create a companion, and let's see, the rules suggested the type of companion. They have no willpower points. They're just mainly going to help, and so I created this companion named Tabitha, who is a minstrel, an Asleen minstrel. My thinking was that, okay, so her bio is she was a dreamer growing up, Asleen, and then she worked as a minstrel, sang for a lord, which is pretty nice, and then maybe something happened. Maybe we can explore that at a later time, but she had to kind of flee the lord's service and somehow ran across Jessup as they entered the Raven Lands, and she's decided to tag along with him and document his exploits in musical song, of course, like all good minstrels do. So that's my plan. Let's see, the first step, starting out, it says, getting started. we are going to roll How Did You Meet on the Legend and Adventures. Okay, well, I just came up with a How to Meet, but let's just roll and see what we get. I don't have the Legends and Adventures. For some reason, it's not in the core module, which is kind of annoying, but I do have it here. So we will roll on the How Did You Meet, table 20, page 24. And if this is better than what I came up with, use it. If not, we'll just use. So this is a D66. So I'll roll 2D6 here. That looks like a 56. Yeah, 56. Captured by saurians. You wandered too far into the marshes. Suddenly you were lost in the fog and only the sounds of strange creatures for company. In that moment you were surrounded by dozens of saurians hissing amongst themselves. You were brought to their village deep in the wetlands and met a few other adventurers who have been captured the same way. You eventually managed to escape. Maybe you hate saurians now. Maybe you acquired unexpected allies. Okay, you know, I kind of like that. All right, let's say, yeah, we were both captured by saurians, lizard people, and then, yeah, we escaped, and maybe during that escape, Tabitha was impressed with Jessup's sword fighting abilities and decided to stay with him and become his documenter, you know. Okay, so now we're going to create a legend using the tables, page 27 and 31. Okay. So this legend is going to be the major reason for us setting out. So basically the reason why we're going out on this adventure. What did I just do? That's not what I wanted to do. 2d6. Okay. What? Another 56? That seems fishy. Let's roll again. I don't like. All right, 43. There was a beautiful 36. Beautiful priest. Okay. This is already kind of getting a little strange. Who sought. I need to come up with a macro to roll my 2d6. There was a beautiful priest who sought a map because of greed, okay, and traveled to 65, a water source located Why does it keep rolling the same numbers? This is crazy. Something wrong with the dice roller? On the other side of the Forbidden Lands. Okay. In some mountains. Okay, I better start writing this down. All right, beautiful priest. We could make that a beautiful priestess. Maybe a raven sister who sought a map because of greed and traveled to a water source on the other side of the Forbidden Lands. In some mountains. So maybe like a mountain spring in the direction of 23. Oh wait, nope, this is a D8. 6. The direction of southwest. As the legend goes, it is said that he or she died in battle. And that the location there is 'An Elven ruby but also I swear these are rolling the same dice every time. The same numbers. 45. Starved. That's not good. So we need to bring lots of food along with us. Goblins? Or I could flip it and say monsters. No, let's just say goblins. Okay. So somewhere, maybe when we were trapped by these saurians, we learned about this legend of a beautiful priestess that had a map. Maybe she had a map to this elven, the location of this elven ruby, and then traveled to this water source, this mountain spring to the southwest, on the other side of the Forbidden Lands, and maybe was killed by some goblins. And so we have to travel and find this. Maybe maybe Tabitha is somehow related to this woman, or something. So she wants to find out if she really died, and if she died, what happened to this ruby that she is searching for. So yeah, there's some interesting ideas. So yeah, that's my character and my companion, and yeah, the next step will be to actually get started with some hex crawling and set up the map and all of that. So thanks for joining me. See you later. Hey guys, I'm back for episode 2. This is going to be another quick episode. I just wanted to point out a few little things before we actually get started. So the first thing is I looked back at character creation, and I guess my 1 silver piece is what I was supposed to get, because I was supposed to get a D6 silver, so I guess I rolled a 1. So yeah, Jessup is very broke, so that might explain why he's willing to go along with Tabitha's ideas on kind of where to go and what to do. I did set my food to a D8, my water to a D6, and then Jessup got D12 bolts or arrows for his crossbow when he got a crossbow. Don't have any torches though, so we're definitely going to need to find some torches before we go in any dungeons. For Tabitha, she has actually, I don't think I mentioned her gear before. She has a dagger, fine garments she probably stole from that noble that she was performing for, and a lute. And she has 8 silver, so maybe she grabbed a little bit of change on the way out of the noble's house. She also has a D8 food and a D6 water, no arrows, and no torches. So yeah, definitely need to find some torches. Okay, so we know that we met by getting kidnapped by saurians in a swamp or a marsh. I think it said a marsh. So I looked around, found what I thought would probably be the best starting location is in the blush, which is a large marshland. So I'm going to start us out at this hex right here, having just come out of the blush. So maybe this thing right here was the hideout of the saurians. If we wanted to go back and seek revenge someday, we could go back there. It looks like there's either, I guess that's a village, but it looks like maybe there's some sort of inn or a roadside inn or something to the north of us, but we would need to travel through the marshlands, which I think neither one of us is going to want to do. There's also a dungeon of some sort to the south. Maybe we've heard about that. Oh, I wanted to mention this. This is just, I'm not sure where I got this image, but I'm just using this as a tracker, time tracker. So when we move to a different watch, I can just switch over to the tile control and move this little raven to the next track. We could do it with simple calendar. It's just this might be just a little bit easier. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so our legend that we rolled said that there was a beautiful priestess who sought a map because of greed. She traveled to a water source in the mountains on the other side of the Forbidden Lands, and she was seeking a Elven ruby, but then she died in battle, possibly with some starved goblins. So I was just kind of flipping through Raven's Purge, and I noticed there's an adventure location there called, oh shoot, what's it called? The Eye of the Rose. And I just flipped through it. I didn't really read it in detail, but it's the location of a famous Elven ruby. So yeah, so I grabbed that sticker, and since we know it's at a water source and it's in the mountains, I put it here at the base of what I guess this stream feeds the Bloodwater. I guess that's a lake. So anyway, I kind of thought that might be a good location. It's definitely all the way across the Ravenlands. It's definitely at a water source, and it's in the mountains. And at least the rumors say it holds an Elven ruby. Now, maybe I was thinking last time maybe Tabitha had heard either knew of this priestess who was seeking this ruby, or she had heard about it, but she's pretty sure it's a real thing, and she's pretty sure that's the location of it. But maybe she's wrong about this starved goblins. Maybe she thinks, oh yeah, I've heard it's just full of starved goblins. Well, if I flip through that adventure site and it's full of full-grown, perfectly healthy orcs, but maybe that helped her convince Jessup that it was a good idea to travel there to find this ruby and to find any hints of this priestess that had gone there in the past. So yeah, that gives us a reason to kind of an initial destination. We're probably going to want to go travel west along this river and then through this forest to this Eye of the Rose. But yeah, we might pick up some more rumors along the way. Yeah, so I think that's all I wanted to show in this episode. So yeah, in the next episode, we're going to actually start playing. So thanks for joining me. Hey guys, it's me again. I'm going to attempt to play our very first turn here. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, since the last video, I did find the macros folder. So I now have a D66 macro, so roll to 45. That's yeah, if you don't know where that is, you click this little folder here to bring up the macros, and it shows all of the it'll show you all the core game macros it comes with, and you just drag those down into the macro bar. I also wrote my own macro to roll the weather. These are the tables in the Book of Beasts. So you can see if I just press 2, it gives me the wind, the rain, and the temperature. I think you can see that. Oh, let me do it again actually. There, now you should be able to see it. The wind, the rain, and the temperature. So, alright, let's clear these and get started. Okay, journeying for 1. Each quarter day, follow the following procedure. Morning only, shuffle the deck of cards. So I have already shuffled the deck of cards. Use the XP question prompts to earn XP. We're not going to do that since our first day. Roll D6 3 times for the weather. So let's see what the weather is. This actually counts. Here we go. Oh no, there's a windstorm. So making camp tonight will be at a -2. There's no rain and it's a pleasant temperature, so that's good. Next, assign and resolve tasks for the PC and the companion. So we will open up our, actually let's decide what we're going to do. I think Jessup will tell Tabitha, we need to get as far from this swamp as we possibly can before nightfall in case those Saurians come back. I've heard tell of a village to the west along the Elia River. If we try to make for it, perhaps we can make it by nightfall or soon thereafter. So Tabitha will agree to that, and so we will head west towards this village here. Let's say we don't have the supplies to go delving into some dungeon. We need torches. We need more food, water. Let's head for this village. So, yeah, we will... Jessup will lead the way since he thinks he knows how to get there. And he says, Tabitha, keep a watch. Which she will do. Okay. Next up, let's see. Perform a new hex procedure anytime we go into a new hex. Okay. And I think... So the Pathfinder needs to make a survival roll, and if he fails, a mishap, and then the lookout will make a scouting roll, and then we will move our 2 hexes. Okay, so let's... Actually, I think this has to happen every time we go into a new hex. So... let me turn that meter down a little bit. Okay, so he needs to make a... What did I just say? This will get easier as we progress. Survival roll. Okay. Jessup's first chance to prove his survival. He's got 3 wits, so maybe he'll... that's not good. He got no successes and 3 damage. So if I were to push this roll, I'd have to take 3 damage. So I'm not going to do that. So let's roll on the mishaps table. Now I'm pretty sure travel mishaps is a macro in here. I think I saw that. Journeying mishaps. There we go. Okay, so I'll pull this down there. And yeah, we'll hit 4 and see what happens. What journeying activity was rolled? Fish, forage, hunt, lead, camp, or see. So we were trying to lead the way. Okay, while leading the way you suffer quicksand. The ground gives way under your feet. You have walked into an area of quicksand. You are completely stuck and you must roll might to escape. If you fail, you suffer 1 point of damage to agility and must roll again. Whoever pulls free can help anyone who is still stuck. You also need to go around the treacherous area and won't make any progress on the map during this quarter day. Wow, that's pretty terrible. Okay, so let's see if Jessup can pull his way free using a might roll. As Jessup and Tabitha are both plummet into this quicksand on the edge of this marsh. Jessup uses all of his strength to pull himself out. And he succeeds with 2 successes. So now he can help Tabitha try to pull her way out. So she will roll might. And I believe I can do, is it a +1? Let me look that up real quick. Oops, wrong one. and they need to be in the journal. Skills. You decide the others may help you. See below. Okay. Help from others. Others succeed. Help you succeed. Right away for your individual helping. You must be physically present. You get a +1 modification. Okay. So Jessup is going to reach over and help. Tabitha. So +1 modification. So this should be rolling 3, 4 dice. Oh, a success. Okay, so Tabitha and Jessup have both successfully pulled themselves out of the quicksand. However, you also need to go around the treacherous area and won't make any progress on the map during this quarter day. Okay, so I don't go around the map, but I think I still need to draw a card for an encounter. So Tabitha will roll her scouting to keep watch. And she gets no successes. I don't think she will push this. So yeah, let's see what happens. So whenever you enter a new... Oh, wait, we did not enter a new hex. Whenever you enter a new hex, draw a card and consult the table below. And I think if we were keeping watch over a camp, we would also have to draw a card. But since we're not entering a new hex, I don't think we need to draw a card. Okay, so our heroes trudge around this annoying quicksand that they found right in the middle of the edge of this marsh. So that means it is now, the morning goes by and is now daytime. And I think we'll just stick with the same party composition and try to move forward, move west. That quicksand's really going to hurt us because we're going to be stuck out at night now. But let's see if Jessup can lead the way this time. He's going to roll his survival again. Oh my gosh, he failed again. This time he will push, which means he will take at least one damage. Wait, what am I doing? Make sure that I want to do the pushing the roll. Yeah, if you're desperate, you can choose to push it. This means that you grab the dice that did not come 6 or a 1 and roll them again. Push the roll. Let's see. Get your dice. When you push hard, there's a risk you'll suffer damage or exhaustion. Your weapon will be destroyed. If you have pushed like all the dice on the table. Okay. For every skull, you suffer 1 point of damage to the attribute you have used. Okay. So we will push this roll. Yes, and we succeed. 1 damage is applied to wits. Okay. Oh, cool. It does that automatically. This is just a great module. I love it. Okay, so maybe Jessup gets a slight headache because he's squinting everywhere, making sure he picks the right path, but he does pick the right path this time. And he's able to move into the next hex right here along this marsh. Now we will let Tabitha roll for her scouting. which she succeeds. And now we will draw a card for a... draw a card. Okay, so this is shuffled. Card is a 7. Random encounter table. Roll D66 and choose between the ones in the Game Master's Guide and the Book of Beasts. Okay, so I already have the random encounters macro here, so I'm just going to click 3 and we'll see what happens. Okay, what is the current terrain type? Good question. The current terrain type is plains. Uh-oh. While traveling across the plains, you encounter the restless dead. So we've just made it out of this quicksand. We're finally getting a little bit of headwind. We're moving forward, and then all of a sudden, the restless dead appear. Company of jesters are traveling along the road, some on foot and others riding in carts. Many of them are gaudily painted and dressed in comical garb, although this place in the wilderness is not exactly the ideal location for a performance. The men and women escorting the troop on horseback greet you in a tense manner. Some of them are wearing makeup or body paint. Okay, so Tabitha actually saw these guys coming before they get too close. So I'm not going to read any further down, but we probably have a chance to hide if we wanted to. I mean, if I were walking along in the woods and a bunch of clowns showed up, I'd have to admit I'd be a little bit freaked out. But Jessup is a warrior. He's been through many battles. I don't think he's too scared. I think he will just greet them warily. So a closer look reveals the jesters to be strangely apathetic, as well as looking old and smelling badly. If asked to perform, they can't reply, can't juggle even a single ball, and their body parts fall off at even the simplest attempt at acrobatics. The jesters are in fact painted restless dead, and the villagers have herded together and are secretly moving to a safe place where the Rust brothers will not be able to find them. A unit of iron guards is tracking them and will reach the company moments after the encounter with the adventurers. Captain Holmar is in a good mood, playing along, demanding a performance for himself. After a while, he drops his facade of the dead, or to be moved to the closest Rust Brother temple to be re-educated as servants and soldiers. Okay, so yeah, I think Tabitha and Jessup would just be just try to avoid any conflict here with the skeletons or with the iron guards. All right, so we're going to let them go along their way and not interact with them too much. Okay, so I can still move one more hex this quarter day, so we're going to hike on along, and that means I need to draw. Actually, do I have to roll again to my survival? Every time you move on the map, every time you enter a new hex on the map, you must make a survival roll. Okay, so yeah, Jessup has to make another survival roll. Oh no. Another 2 skulls. Yeah, I can't take that damage, so he's just gonna have to have a mishap. So there we go. Let's see what we get. You suffer blocked terrain. The way forward is blocked by rocks, fallen trees, thick shrubbery, or flooding. You must roll might or move to be able to move forward. If you fail, you suffer 1 point of damage to strength, and you must roll again. Anyone who rolls successfully can help anyone who did not. You won't make any progress on the map during this quarter day. Ah, jeez. Okay, so we have to push our way through. So we have to roll might or move. Jessup is definitely going to roll might. Well, we got it. Okay, so we were able to push through. So now Tabitha can roll might or move with help from Jessup. So she has neither one of those, but her agility and strength are the same. So I guess she'll move. She'll do might with a +1 modifier. Not a +10, +1. She fails. Suffer 1 point of damage to strength. So she'll take a point of strength and she has to roll again. Okay, she made it that time. Alright, so far this has been a really kind of crappy hiking trip. So yeah, I'm gonna end it here, but for their next turn is as the sun begins to set, we have barely made any progress at all, and we're still a long way from the village. Hey, welcome back to my Forbidden Lands solo playthrough. We've gone through 2 quarter days and yeah, have made very little progress from our original starting point. We're still dangerously close to this swamp and we're still a long way from the village. Now we could force march and we'd have to roll endurance, but we might be able to hike a 3rd quarter day. But I'm afraid that might be a little too much. So I think what we're going to do, so let's go ahead and advance this to the dusk section here. And then I think what we're going to do is Jessup will ask Tabitha to keep a watch while he makes camp. Actually, I think what he will do is have Tabitha sleep while he makes camp, and then during the night she can stay awake and keep watch while he sleeps. Is that the best way to do it? Let me look at the rules again. So it seems like with only, actually, is there any kind of solo rule for this? Okay, when keeping a watch at camp, since the GM would normally decide something happens, so just simply draw a card, consult the general encounter table to see if anything happens while you're resting in camp. Okay, so all right, so the problem with this is we don't have anybody keeping a watch while Jessup is making camp. So if we have an encounter, we won't have a chance to see it. But I think that's always going to be a problem. Or we can just both. Yeah, okay, so maybe we should do that. Tabitha, you keep watch. Jessup's going to make camp. And then while we sleep, we'll just sleep and hope nothing comes upon us. That seems like that's one quarter we're going to have to go without somebody being on watch, or else we're going to get exhausted. Okay, so let's see. Making camp. It's time to make camp. Finding a good location for a camp, making a fire, preparing where to sleep takes a whole quarter day. Usually in the evening, only one person rolls to make camp, but others can help. Make a survival roll modified by the quartermaster talent, which we don't have. If your roll succeeds, you find a sheltered and comfortable place to spend the night where you can all rest up before the day's journey. If your roll fails, your camp is less pleasant. set up a camp where you can rest and sleep, but the GM makes a hit and roll on the mishap table below. The GM can spring this mishap time in while you're in camp. Okay. So Jessup needs to make a survival roll. To see if he can successfully make camp. And he does. Okay. So Jessup gets the camp ready. Tabitha will make a scouting roll to see if she's able to spot anything should it come up. She is not. Maybe she should push that because she didn't roll any banes and there's a good chance we're going to sleep next time. So, okay, let's go ahead and push. Steel failed. Okay. Tabitha's not very good at being on lookout. I'm getting that feeling. So, okay, well now we need to draw a card for an encounter. So here we go. The card is a face card, a queen. Draw a card and consult the table on page 170. Okay, so we'll draw another card. It's an 8. Cart. It's an 8 of spades. No, actually, yeah. No, it's an 8. It's an 8 of clubs. Uncanny terrain. Crater, an odd tree, a sandy patch in a forest, etc. Okay, so these entries are deliberately vague. Okay, so I guess while we're setting up camp, we just realized that there's just some really weird stuff here. Let's see what. Let's roll on the theme oracle or flip a card for the theme oracle to see. See if we can get a nature of this. 4 of Hearts. Disunion. Maybe it's a little bit something's off-putting in like an almost mystical way, like it just sort of creeps us out. Maybe it warns us that it makes us think that something's evil has been this way before or recently or something like that. Okay. All right, so we have camp. We've successfully made camp. So now we will go to the last quarter of the day, night. And we will try to rest. Or sleep. What does it do if we click this? Oh, okay. Find a good place. I think we already found a good place, but I could have clicked from here to make camp. Cool. As I learn this module, this will get better. Okay, so let's look up sleep real quick. Make sure we're following the rules. You have to sleep at least 1/4 day to avoid becoming sleepy. If your sleep is interrupted by something dramatic, your activity in the quarterly no longer counts as sleep. Sleep also counts as rest. Okay, so we did make camp, so we don't have to worry about that. All right, so let's see if we get an encounter that could mess up our sleep and make us sleepy. So I will draw a card for the encounter here. It is a jack, another face. So draw. Okay, so another gentle encounter. It's a 6 of clubs. No encounter. Okay, good. The night passes without incident. So that means I can click on Jessup and click the rest button here and heal up all of our attributes. And I don't think Tabitha... Oh, Tabitha did take a strength damage, so I will rest her as well. Okay. Alright, so after a pretty miserable day, at least we got a decent night's sleep. So it is the next day. Let me update my calendar here, just for the fun of it. Let's see, should move to the 2nd. Yep. I'm going to drag these here because I keep referencing this. Drag the solo rules. And then I also want to drag the journey rules because I seem to be accessing those a lot. Okay, so. Morning, shuffle the deck of playing cards. Okay, I will shuffle these. And then we're going to use the XP prompts to see if we've gained any XP over the last day. Oh, there's a journey reference. Oh, nice. Okay, let me drag that in there. Drag the journey reference. Okay, let's see. Where is our XP? Is that in the Game Masters Guide? No. Leveling up. Here we go. Okay. Life and Adventurer. There's many challenges. XP. Receive XP at the end of each day. Okay. Did you participate in the game session where you skip that one for solo? Did you travel through at least one hex on the game map that you had not visited before? So I'm going to just jot down here Jessup and Tabitha. Actually, I'm not sure if Tabitha gains XP. Maybe I should double check that real quick. Do companions get XP? Let's see. When playing solo sessions can be long, instead of rewarding experience where they ask the questions from when you're advancing your character, you can take professional talents from outside. Okay, I don't think Tabitha is going to get any XP. It doesn't specifically say that, but it says if she gets upgraded to my main PC, then she gets a talent and all that stuff. So I think that implies that she's not going to get talents just by leveling up. I could certainly be wrong about that, but for now, we're not going to give her XP. Okay. So, did you travel through at least one hex? Yes. Okay. Did you discover an adventure site? No. Did you defeat more monsters? No. Did you find treasure? No. Did you build a function? No. Did you activate your pride? No. Dark secret? No. Did you risk your life for another PC? Probably not. Did you perform an extraordinary action of some kind? I mean, he dug himself out of the quicksand, but that's probably not extraordinary. Okay, so he's only going to get 1 XP. How many does it take to get? How many XPs does it take? 15 skill level. Okay, so not too much. But anyway, he gets 1 XP. All right. He lived 1 day. Where is my experience points? There it is. 1. Good job, Jessup. Okay. Weather. Let's see what the weather's like today. Oh, shoot. That reminds me we had a windy day, so the camp should have been in a -1 yesterday. Oh, well. Let's see what the weather's like today. Another windy day. Camp will be at -1 tonight, so we need to see if we can remember that. And there's a downpour. Lead the way is at -2. This is terrible. We have to succeed at an endurance roll just to keep moving. Okay, and it's cool. Okay, so wow, this day is starting off terrible. It's pouring down rain and it's freezing cold out here. So we have to succeed at an endurance roll every quarter day or become cold. And we have to succeed at an endurance roll just to motivate us to move to the next area. And because it's raining, we get a -2 to our lead the way rolls. So it's just all around really bad. Okay, well, I think we need to hike. I mean, even with the rain, we're going to need to hike. So let's get the party up here. You know, maybe Tabitha should lead the way this time. Although her survival is nothing now, I think Tabitha will complain to Jessup about his poor pathfinding the day before, and he will say, "Listen, I have the best chance of getting us there. You just need to keep a lookout and watch for things this time, and I will do better today, despite this rain." So let's see if we can roll an endurance. We have to roll an endurance check just to motivate us to move. So I guess we'll just do that. Okay, I have failed it. So let's push that. Okay, that worked. I didn't have to take any damage, so that's good. Tabitha will complain. Not want to go. Push that. Jeez. Okay, so she's taken 2 damage. So maybe she says, okay, fine, I'll try. Immediately slips, falls, and injures herself. So now we are stuck in camp, pouring down rain. Let's see if we get cold. Well, we'll stay in camp so we won't get cold. How long does this rain last all day? Let's see. For a quarter day, all player characters must succeed. Okay, so that means it's only the next quarter day. It'll go away. The rain will stop, but the cold temperature will still be here. So let's see. I guess there's not much we can do then. I think this will just pass. I guess I need to roll for an encounter. Right. I believe it said when we are in camp. Let's see. When you're keeping watch at camp, since the GM would normally decide whether something happens, to address this simply draw a card, consult the general encounter table to see if anything happens while you're resting at your camp. Okay, so that means we don't have to do this here. We just do the general encounter table. So let's see what happens while. So Tabitha has injured herself. Actually, I wonder if we can change to resting then. Since we can't move, we can't hike. Maybe we could switch to resting. If we did that, Tabitha could heal up that damage. Yeah, I'm just gonna say, look. Okay, fine, Tabitha. If you rest, I'll keep a watch. We'll pass the morning here in camp, and then as soon as this rainstorm stops, we head out. We start hiking. So he will roll a watch. And he passes. Okay. So let's see if what the encounter says. With a 5 of hearts. No encounter. Excellent. Okay, so that means Tabitha can rest up and heal her wounded knee that she injured when she fell. And now we will move on to day. The rain stops. It is still cold. So we will still need to roll against the cold this time, but we should be able to hike. So Jessup will lead the way. Tabitha will keep watch. Jessup will make a lead the way roll. Which he fails. He will push that. And succeed, but take 2 damage to wits. So once again, he's just mentally exhausted from having to constantly be trying to find his way. But he does successfully move forward. So we will enter a new hex. Tabitha will roll her keep watch. And fail it. We'll go ahead and push that. Succeeded with only 1 damage. Okay. Now we will draw a card. It is a 2 of clubs. So we do a general encounter. So I will roll random encounter. We are still in the plains. No encounter. Excellent. Okay, so that was 1 space. Now we can move another space this quarter day. We'll stay along the river. Move there. And I will flip another card. Uh-oh, king face. So it's a general encounter. Okay. It is the 10 of hearts. 10 of hearts. Some game wonders in view. Roll for an animal. Player's Handbook, page 158. So I believe that I have a macro for that, I think. Find prey. Let me make sure that's what it's talking about. Player's Handbook, page 152. Happen to have the Player's Handbook right here, 152. $152 is Okay, no, that's the animal. That's the animal one. The hunting. Maybe that is find a prey. Let me edit it real fast and see. Actually, I'll just drag it here on 5. You found a mouse. Yes, that is the same one. So it's a difficulty +1, a weapon or a trap, and it would give us 1 meat. So let's see, if we... To kill your prey, you must roll again, this time for marksmanship if using a weapon or survival if using a trap. Modify the roll with the difficulty of the animal. Okay, so as we're traveling, a mouse comes scurrying out of the brush, and yeah, Jessup is like, I'm gonna shoot that with my crossbow. So he quickly produces his crossbow, aims at this little mouse, and yeah, so I'm gonna have to make a marksmanship roll with a +1 because it's only a mouse. Oh wait, actually a +1 I think makes it, no, I think that makes it easier. So marksmanship +1. Let's see if we hit it. We do not. Do I push it? Why not? Push it. I get it. Yes. Okay. So the table to the page. How many meat? That's how many units of meat and pelts. So I get 1 meat and 0 pelts, and then I can cook that either by a chef or an inn to turn that into a ration of food. Which reminds me, we did not make our food and water rolls last night while we were sleeping. So let's add a unit of meat to my backpack. I think that will be in the items. Hopefully, let's see, core game. Can I just search for meat? Here we go, raw meat. Okay. So I have some mouse meat. Yum. Now let's go ahead and roll for yesterday while I believe that we need to roll for food and water. Let me double check that. Again, this is going to get faster as I get more used to it. Let's see. Distance. Hunt. Rest. Sleep. Okay, it's not there. It must be in... Okay, I'll tell you there. Can I search for food? Maybe it's under rations? Oh, you know what? I think it's searching the headings and not the text. Makes sense. Okay. So I know what we need to eat. One. I know we need to roll. I think we just roll for our rations and then our water, and then if it's a 1 or a 2, is it a 1 or a 2? Yeah, I need to find that. Hold on. I don't think it's in the journeys. Maybe it's under, maybe provisions? Resources? Wow. Okay. Consumables. Okay. Yeah, that makes consumables. Okay. Every time you eat a ration of food, drink a ration of water, shoot an arrow, or light a torch, you roll the resource die for the consumable. If the die shows a 1 or a 2, you decrease the resource die 1 step. Okay. So, last night, Jessup needed to eat food, so he will roll that. Okay, he's fine. He also needed to drink water. Okay, he's fine. And then when he shot that mouse, he actually shot an arrow, so he will roll an arrow. And he's fine. Okay. Now, Tabitha, she ate some food. Okay, she drank some water. Uh-oh. Her water went down from... Uh-oh, was it a D6? It was a D6. So she is out of water. That's not good. Not good. I wonder if I can share. Can I share? Sharing. If you want to give a consumable to another person, you simply increase the recipient's resource die as many steps as you decrease your own. Okay. So I'm thinking, actually, I'm going to put on my DM hat. We are traveling along a river. So I don't think there is any reason why she should be out of water. I think she can just fill up her water from the... Actually, I think we could both get D12 water, and I'm going to say that that's what happens, because it doesn't make any sense to not have water when you're right by a river. And Giardia or whatever has not been invented yet, so I think we'll be okay. All right, where were we? We traveled. That was our second. Hex that we'd entered, and now we have dealt with the encounter, and I think it is beginning to get dusk. So even if we cross this river, actually I think we have to find a ford to cross the river. Even if we hiked one more, we would get exhausted. We probably would get exhausted. So I'm thinking we should probably make camp. Because even if we hiked one more, we would not make it to the village. And then we would just have to sleep with no camp out here, and that would suck. So, okay, let's move it to dusk. Jessup will handle the making the camp while Tabitha keeps watch, maybe plays him a song on her lute while he's setting up camp. We need to make a camp roll, which he fails. I've already forgotten what's the consequences of. Do I want to push this? Making a camp. The camp is less pleasant. You still set up, but the GM makes a hidden roll on the mishap tables. Let's just push it. Oh crap! We're broken. I forgot that we had already taken damage to our wits. So he's trying to set up camp, and he is just at his wits' end, literally. So when you are broken from wits, what happens? Where's my damage? There we go. Damage. Damage to wits, fear, panic, confusion. Broken wits. You're paralyzed by fear and confusion. Roll for a critical injury on the horror table, except if you broke yourself by pushing a roll. Okay, so I pushed my roll. You remain conscious. You can run to a safe place, but you can't perform any other actions or roll any skills. Okay, so we have definitely failed setting up camp. He gets so frustrated trying to set up this camp that he just like sits down and refuses to do anything else. So we need to roll on the camping mishaps, which I believe I have a mishaps here. Camp. Spoiled water. The water you're carrying has spoiled. Everyone in the group must reduce their resource die by 1 water. That's funny. I was just talking about how we have plenty of water, and then I found out that something is bad with. We find out that something's bad with that water. Okay, so I'm dropping him to a D10, and then Tabitha down to a D10. We still have plenty of good water, so it's not panicking. Okay, Tabitha will roll, make her keep watch roll, and fail it. We'll just let it go. Now we need to roll for, we need to flip a card for the encounter, right? So while Tabitha is trying to calm down Jessup, who's flipping out, Jack of Spades. Jack of Spades. Slavers, Bandits, or Game Master's Guide, page 183. Oh, this is not good. Before we get into this, let's give Tabitha a chance to calm down Jessup. So if we look at the broken rules, which I was just looking at, where was that? Combat and damage. Fastest way to recover from being broken is for someone else to treat you by rolling a healing or performance. Okay, so let's say before the slavers show up, let's give Tabitha a chance to recover, to help Jessup recover, because otherwise he's not even going to be able to act when the slavers show up. So she is going to do a performance roll. And if she's successful, it will immediately recover a number of points in the broken attribute equal to the number of successes rolled. Okay, so she is a minstrel. She should be good at performance. Does the loot actually give you anything? Gear bonus to performance. Okay, perfect. So she's going to... Actually, can I equip that? No, I can't equip that. Actually, maybe I can. Let's see. If I drag it into here. Okay, I'm equipping the loot. And now she's going to make a performance check. She has 5 dice. Now, oh yeah, it did. Okay. So loot is active. So she's going to roll 4, 9, 10 dice. All right, come on. Sing us a song. I cannot believe she only got 1 success. If she pushes this, she has a ton of empathy. So, okay, she's going to push it. Wow, what a difference. Jessup's like, I feel a little bit better, but I kind of think if you could just put a little bit more oomph into this song. And so she says, you know, you're right. And she just pours her heart into that. So she takes some empathy damage, but he gains 4 points back in that broken. So he gains, let's see, can I right click? Yes. He gains all of his wits back. So just as Jessup is thanking her for this awesome song, what should happen? But a bunch of slavers burst into the camp. And we'll pick up there next time.